Hello again. This segment is going to address my situation with unemployment insurance. As I mentioned, when the receiver came in, he abruptly fired me from my company, and I applied for unemployment insurance. I have never been on unemployment before, but all of a sudden, now after a few months of collecting unemployment, I was called and given a telephone interview. It was more like a cross-examination by a prosecuting attorney. The end result was they declared me ineligible. I believe that decision. I know that decision was totally wrong. I won't go into the details of what happened, but I've been working every day. I'm working just as hard now as I was for the last 30 years. I never stopped. I feel as though I was not really employed, but self-employed, not earning any money, not making any commission, that I was entitled to benefits. So they told me I could appeal their decision. And I did that. They told me the appellate process would take approximately 8 weeks. Now, I filed my appeal in October, I think it was October 17th of 2014. And I told them I needed a quick decision. My wife and I were in dire straits. We couldn't make ends meet, surviving on Social Security. So we wait and we wait and we wait. No decision. So finally in February, I called and got a nice lady on the phone. She said, this process takes a long time. There's a big backlog. And so no decision has been made. It's still pending. So the next day, as a matter of fact, the next day was February 10th. I wrote a letter telling them who I was, and I had an appeal pending, and I needed an answer. I really needed a positive answer because I can't get my bills paid. This was sent by certified mail, so to make sure that someone got it. And I have the certified receipt here dated February 13th, 2015. Still no response. So I finally called sometime in June. I have a note here. On June 8th, I spoke with a young lady who said that the decision had been made back in December and that my appeal had been dismissed. Now, I was shocked and disappointed. First off, if it had been decided in December and I sent a letter in February, had a conversation in February, and they said it was still pending, where is the disconnect? So I also told the lady I'd never got any notice that my appeal had been dismissed. So she said she was very nice. She said she would resend it. So she resent it. The note says on June 8th. I'm sorry. She resent it on June 8th. And it was postmarked June 10th. And she told me that I could appeal to the New Jersey Superior Court. But I was anxious to find out why it was dismissed because I was shocked. I put together a detailed appeal, documented, showing that I was working, giving all the backup that they would need, assuredly thinking that I would get a positive ruling. So when I got the ruling, it simply states that I did not file in time. That it was I had 20 days from September 22nd, and I didn't file until October 17th. That's all it said. They said, and I didn't show good cause for not being shown for such late filings. Now, in my appeal, I have mentioned to them that one reason I was late filing some of these notices is because they were confusing and misleading. Now, when I got the notice that my appeal had been dismissed for not filing in time, I went back and pulled some of the things that I did get. And by the way, when they send these notices out, it comes regular mail, and quite honestly, sometimes I miss them. I'm busy, I got these lawsuits, I'm trying to earn a living, and so forth, and they don't come by certified mail. They simply come in the mail, and if you miss it, I guess shame on you. But they were a bit understanding, and I explained to them that when I was late filing before, it was because I was preoccupied with the lawsuits, and they were understanding there. But in any event, I have documents. They're all addressed to Lou Rogers. But they don't have my Social Security number on it. It has the wrong Social Security number on it. And the date has 2007. This date has 2010. Wrong Social Security number. This has 2010. And these were filed, or they were mailed, in September. The only notice that I have from the appeal tribunal that has my correct Social Security number and all the correct information has the mailing date of October 1st. I filed my appeal October 17th, which is well within the filing period. But they're saying the mailing date was September 22nd. Again, but my point here is, again, there's a disconnect. Our systems are broken. And people like me and people like you are suffering as a result. Some won't file an appeal. Some won't follow up. Some will simply think they have no choice but to accept the decision, even though it may be the wrong decision, or even though the decision was made on erroneous facts. We need to fix the system. Now, again, this system, this situation with the unemployment is not nearly as troubling as my situation with the Department of Social Services. But it's troubling nonetheless. Yes, I need my unemployment insurance. I paid into the system for over 50 years. Never collected unemployment before. I'm not trying to beat the system. I get up between 4 and 5 o'clock every morning, go to work every day, work on Saturdays. So I'm not trying to beat the system. I'm simply applying for what is due me. So if you're in this situation, don't give up, don't give in. And if you're simply an observer, don't be a bystander, don't be an observer. Become an active participant. Become a part of the power of one. Thank you.